Taking you back from the past and into the future. Sensiblesradio.com.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Total Football Show, 90 minutes with me and my partner Ryan Archer. Right, how's it going, mate? He's having a problem with the mic.
I'm alright. The mic started flying in the air.
We'll be talking about all the Premier League stuff, the West Ham stuff, of course. We'll be starting with whether Tottenham should be deducted points for their stadium. Now we're clinging on to hopes here, but yeah, there's all sorts of stuff we're going to talk about. Right, what have you been up to this week, mate?
I'll be honest, mate, I'm still trying to get over Saturday. It was, I had to have a day off from football yesterday. I watched the games, but honestly, Saturday really done me in. It hurt.
Yeah, it did hurt, mate.
It hurt me badly.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely
still suffering now. And all I've had is Tottenham fans giving me abuse and banter.
Yeah, I know. We'll get into Tottenham a little bit later, but
I can't wait.
Yeah, but you done nothing this week apart from that, no?
Oh no, I've been off.
He's joined the gym.
Yeah, I'll join the gym.
$9.99 a month.
$9.99, mate, can't go wrong. Everlast, little plug there. Thurrock.
I do want to sponsor the show. You can sponsor the show, but don't mention them again, will you? Jesus Christ.
No, I won't. Other gyms are available, more expensive. That's why I didn't join them. But no, I went Windsor Castle, Thorpe Park. I've had a good week, mate. You?
No, nothing. I ain't done nothing this week. Do you know what? I've been having a problem with my arm. You know, I got that little cut on it last week when I walked into the scaffolding.
Yeah.
It's really seized up this week. I don't know what's going on with it, but anyway, that's beyond the point. What should we talk about first? Well, the same thing we talk about first every week, I guess, and that's West Ham.
Yeah. Another defeat, mate.
Where do we start here? Because
I don't know. I'm trying to look at what we've written down here, and I'm just, it's winding me up.
I'll be honest with you, I don't want to talk about it, but should we go home? Might as well, because because it is that painful to talk about. Because
we have to talk about it. We're going to hopefully be talking about wins this season. Fingers crossed at some point, because ever since we've done this show, we haven't had a win yet. So
right, let's get straight into this. Then we're going to cut to a song in about 5 minutes, but we've got a lot to say tonight. So we start the game. I was, to be honest with you, mate, before I went there, I was buzzing. I thought we was going to go there. I didn't think we'd turn Wolves over like easily, but I thought it would be a little bit more of a one-sided game than it was, especially with the performance against Arsenal. And then we played well at Wimbledon. Well, everyone said we played well. I thought we was atrocious.
Yeah, you couldn't see because you was behind a bollard or something. But no, I thought we played well against Wimbledon. It was you've seen down the years, we usually lose games like that. Going 1-0 down after 2 minutes, you think it can't get any worse. But then we settled down there, the man sent off, and we deserved to go through. It could have been 6 or 7 on the night. But Saturday was, I mean, before the game, I think a lot of people sort of wrote Wolves off. I've watched a bit of Wolves this season, and they impressed me a lot, and I knew they was going to be difficult. And we said, didn't we, it's whoever takes their chances. And you look at the end of that game, and Arnautovic has that chance. He worked so hard, got himself in a position. Keeper's pulled off a great save. And not 10 minutes later, they go down the other end, and Wolves are celebrating.
Yeah. Well, let's go through the game. It isn't as bad as I think everyone was saying, because when I sat back and watched it, and I thought about the game itself, I thought both teams were very even, and Wolves were a decent outfit. I thought both teams were very even, but we are really lacking. It looked a little bit like the Billet side from last year.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, they've got some quality players. I mean, Neves in midfield, he's 21 years old, and he's going to go on to bigger and better things than Wolves. And that's no disrespect to Wolves, but I can see a bigger club, someone like a Man City, maybe going in for him. But yeah, it was frustrating. It was frustrating because, as you said, going to the stadium, everyone's looking forward to the game, and I thought it wouldn't be easy, but I thought we'd nick a win. We'd get our first 3 points. We just had a win at Wimbledon, get the first 3 points on the board, then we go into an international break.
The thing is, as the game went on, I was even thinking to myself, well, a point ain't going to be bad. You know what I mean? Like, when it got to 90 minutes, I thought, I can't see us scoring now, but a point would be okay.
Yeah, we're the only team in the Football League that hasn't got a point. So we needed a point, and that will just give us a little lift. You know what I mean? But
when you look at the chances that West Ham had, right, we hit the bar. We, what's his name? Patricio pulled off an absolute stunning save from Arnautovic. Arnautovic done all the hard work.
Even Obiang had that chance that went just wide, and we had that chance in the first couple of minutes where it was sort of not cleared off the line, but if that defender weren't there, Antonio taps it in.
Yeah. It's just, it was just so frustrating to watch.
I mean,
but it's the thing that concerns me, right, is something that, and I'm not just saying this because of, because of the position we're in, where you can look at it in hindsight. But the centre midfield, I don't think we strengthened enough in the centre midfield. I really don't. I really do not think.
I mean,
but I thought we'd had the answer, because we had Sanchez. He played very well, and to be fair, he had another good game. It was just the mistake at the end.
Yeah, he did. He was having a good game up until that mistake, but it's the same minute that you can have a good game, but you'll always be remembered for that one mistake, and that's cost us. That's cost us big. But look, I think I was upset with Saturday, but I think what I've seen over on social media the last 24 hours is some people are acting like this is it. We're relegated. We're 4 games into the season. We can turn it. We've got plenty of time to turn it around, but we need to start, because when you look at our fixtures, Everton away, it's not always a good ground for us to go to. And then you've got Chelsea, United. I think it's Brighton away, then Tottenham, then Leicester away. Tottenham at home, Leicester away. So people say, oh, they're not easy fixtures, but we've got to start picking up points. It don't matter if they're easy fixtures or tough teams. We beat Chelsea at home last season. They're not teams that we can't beat on our day.
The frustrating thing is we have got the players. We've got the players to do the damage.
Yeah, we've got a talented squad, and it's just something ain't clicking at the moment. I think there's a lack of leadership in the squad. I mean, we've got Mark Noble. People were calling for him to be dropped, and then after the game on Saturday, people were saying he should have played. So that's why I've always sort of backed Mark Noble, because I think he gives you that little bit of. People say his legs are gone. I don't think they're gone. I think with Mark Noble, he gives you that little bit of heart and that little bit of bite, because Jack Wilshere's not going to get stuck in. We know that because of injuries. He's not going to get stuck in. So we need someone in there. Even a Declan Rice. I mean, I was thinking, I must have written down about 10 different teams for the Everton away game today. And, I'm thinking, should we go 3 at the back, 2 wing backs, and then maybe play Declan Rice in front of the back?
It would be the easy way to go. But I don't think Pellegrini has ever played that way.
No, he's never played that way, but it's not working at the moment. He can play his way with Man City when he's got Aguero, Toure, company, and all that.
Well, someone told me that he lost his first 3 with Man City. Now, I know that may be the case, but this ain't Man City.
No, that's exactly it. It's not Man City, and we've lost our first 4 league games. The last time we done that was under Avram Grant, and at the moment, it's looking like the Avram Grant season. It's just things are not going our way, and we need to.
I do understand what you're saying there, but this is a much more talented squad.
Oh yeah, of course. I'm not comparing squads. I'm just saying, like, the way it's going at the moment, and it just seems like the fans are really, really starting to get on. The fans didn't even get on Avram Grant's back as bad as they're getting on Pellegrini's back at the moment,
because he spent £100 million. Now it takes me on to my next point. Who's to blame here? I mean, do you blame? Personally, I don't think the players are giving enough. I don't think the players are trying hard enough.
No, I see it on Saturday. I mean, Marko Arnautovic, for me, he's a great player, but he's not the sort of player you really want in times like this. And I know people are going to say, yeah, but we was in this situation last year. David Moyes gave him a free role. He hasn't got that under Pellegrini. And it worries me a bit with Arnautovic that is he going to start throwing his toys out the pram a bit. I hope he just knuckles down, because he's an important player for us.
It's not that I disagree. I know what you're saying, but I tend to think a little bit that with Arnautovic, I think Arnautovic is the one giving his all. He had a real bad game Saturday. He was trying things and trying them, stupid weldies and the back heels and the flicks and things that it just wasn't needed. You know what I mean? Like a little bit more directness Yeah, I think that's what we've been lacking this season is a little bit of directness and people shooting at goal when they've got the chance rather than trying to walk it in. I think that was one of our, it's been one of our problems this season.
I think one thing with Arnautovic as well is that, for me, sometimes he doesn't look like a team player. Sometimes he looks like he wants the glory, he wants to be the hero, he wants to be the one that dives in the crowd and everyone loves him. Look, he can do that, but sometimes, I mean, there's chance. Look at the game against Arsenal. There was a couple of times he could have played in Anderson, but he didn't. But no, Arnautovic would be a massive player for us. But it's not only Arnautovic. There's other players that got to step up. Anderson needs to step up. Jack Wilshere needs to step up. There's a lot of players. Antonio needs to step up.
Cresswell was poor.
I've never been a big fan of Antonio, and I know he had a good season in that Boleyn season, but the last 2 years he's been in and out of the team through injuries. This year he's come back. He's not really impressed me. I'll be honest with you. I think he's championship level. I think everyone had a good season at that last at the Boleyn. I mean, Mark Noble was getting touted for England. You know, now people were screaming him to not even be in the starting 11 or not even in the squad for West Ham.
But we've got to remember we're 3 years away from the Boleyn season. 3 years in football is a long time.
And this is what I'm saying. Antonio, for me, since then, he got a one England call up. He's been injured. He hasn't really impressed. He come back muscly. He's told to lose weight. For me, Snodgrass has impressed me more than what Antonio has.
No, Snodgrass definitely gives you a little bit of industry, that's for sure. But at the minute, it's not the industry that we need. It's the little bit of quality and someone like a Payet to just take the game by the scruff of the neck and take responsibility. He never ever shied away from that sort of thing. And there are players at the minute. Anderson Saturday. Now, Anderson is our record signing, and I know that there's a lot of pressure, and I know he's come from a different league, and I know that he's got to get used to the game, and I thought he was brilliant against Arsenal. But he, at times, mate, he looked like he was playing left back. I have to get some confirmation that he actually weren't, because Cresswell was so far forward of him, it was unreal. And you don't want your £42 million record signing behind your left back.
No, you want Anderson in the middle, controlling, getting that ball, looking up and feeding players, and he's not doing that. And you're right, he was out on the left, and Cresswell was further forward than him. Anderson's the sort of player, when you're 6th or 7th in the league and everything's going well, he makes a mistake, you clap him, you sing his name and all that. But when he makes a mistake, like he did a couple of times on Saturday, the fans are just going to get right on their back. And that's a people say about the London Stadium, that's a problem we've got at the London Stadium, is the fans are too quick. I mean, sometimes we're sitting there and people behind us 2 minutes into the game and they're already on the players' backs. Now, I know the players can't hear it, but it winds us up.
Yeah.
And it's, I'm a bit...
There's just, it's a shame because there was so much positivity during the summer. Yeah, we could be
sitting here now talking about 3 wins out of 4, 4 wins out of 4, and it could be totally different, but it's not. And we have to just get on with it. You just got to look towards your next game, and maybe this international break has come at a perfect time for West Ham, so he can regroup, get the players together that ain't away on international duty, and make them train, and just hope they can produce it on the pitch.
A little bit of luck. That's what West Ham need. A little bit of luck.
And neat football.
And a bit of neat football. Yeah. Carrying on. We're going to carry on with this for another 10 minutes or so. Pellegrini, right? Does he take the blame here? Does he take any of the blame?
Yeah, he's got to take some of the blame. He picks the team. It's his tactics. It's the way he sets up. So, yeah, of course he's got to take blame. I mean, people saying he should be sacked, I think, is a bit early. But if he goes another 4 or 5 games without a win, you've got to start questioning, because we spoke about the Avram Grant season, and the board have got to learn from that season, because they didn't sack Grant that year and we went down. I'm confident that Pellegrini will turn it around. I think, like you said, once it clicks, it will click and we can go on a little run, but it's how long do you wait? Because if you go 10, 12 games and you haven't got a win, what do you do? I mean, there's other managers out there that are available now, and I'm not talking about like David Moyes and Sam Allardyce, because we don't want to go back. But
that was one of the things before. Go on, I'll let you finish.
No, I was just going to say, just chucking a name out there. I mean, we was talking about it earlier, Conte, that got sacked from Chelsea. I mean, would he want to come in and do a job? Maybe we should have gone for someone like him in the summer. They're paying Pellegrini £10 million. I'm sure Conte wouldn't have turned that down, but then he'd probably want a bigger job.
A lot of people are starting to turn around and say now about Pellegrini. He was half in retirement. He was over in China doing nothing over there. He was putting his feet up, earning the money. You know, they've gone and dragged him out the doldrums and all that. I'm sure he was earning a lot of money in China. So if he didn't fancy the challenge and he wanted to put his feet up, West Ham ain't the club to do it at, is it? Do you know what I mean? Did you listen to what I was saying?
Sorry, say that again, mate.
Pellegrini.
I was like, it's half retirement, so yeah, was it a gamble us getting him?
Well, no, I didn't say that. I said, like, if he wanted to put his feet up, he must have fancied the challenge, because if he wanted to put his feet up, then he would have just stayed in China, because he would have been getting paid a similar amount, if not more.
Yeah, definitely. He's obviously wants the challenge of West Ham. They're the board are good at selling people dreams, and like when they sold us the dream of the London Stadium. So they've probably sat down with him and said, look, come here. We're going to give you £100 million. You know, you can bring in your own backroom staff. These are the players. You can go, and it's yeah, it's a tough job for Pellegrini. I do feel sorry for him in a way, but he has got to take some sort of blame. He has to. You can't blame the board. Right. Can you blame the board?
Well, this is the next thing. Do you blame the board?
No.
Has this all come too late? Like, there's so many different things. Like, it's easy to turn around and say, yeah, they've put in £100 million, and I'm in agreement with this. By the way, I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here. £100 million. They've invested £100 million, but someone said to me the other day, one swallow a summer does not make. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Meaning that they've had so much time to do this. Is it just too much in one go? I mean, what were they waiting for? Is it their money?
Really,
that's another question that's been put up.
Whether they had the money, but they should have done this when we first moved into the stadium and built around players like Payet. Because if Payet was there and we would have been signing all these sort of players, I'm sure he would have stayed.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is 2 or 3 years too late, but we just have to talk about now and how how are we going to improve now?
People are trying to blame the stadium again, and you know what I mean. They're easy excuses, aren't they? Really, but the fact of the matter is this: the players that are there do not seem to be working. They don't seem to be working for Pellegrini. I can't really blame the money they've spent, because when they was coming in, I'd be an hypocrite if I started criticising them now, because I was thinking, yep, Jack Wilshere, brilliant. Anderson, brilliant. Yarmolenko, brilliant. I would be an absolute fool if I'd just turned around to you now and said, nah.
I mean, I put a thing on Twitter today saying about the bowling ground. You know, it was, I didn't say it was a fortress, but some teams were already defeated in the tunnel. That was the type of ground it is, and ex-players have said it was a tough ground. But at the London Stadium, too many teams turn up, and I'm not talking about the top teams. I'm talking about newly promoted teams like Brighton and Newcastle done it to us last season. Wolves done it to us. They turn up, and we're like the away team. We look scared at our own ground, and you know, I think players sometimes are scared to get the ball, because if they make a mistake, the fans are straight on their back, and that's something we need to get out of the London Stadium. Fans have got all their rights to say what they want, but you've got to get behind the players. I mean, we see it sitting around us. There's no atmosphere in that stadium.
No.
You get the chorus of bubbles when they come out, which is loud. Then you get about 10, 15 minutes in, you get this new American thing where everyone starts clapping and stamping their feet. And then you'll get some geezer a few rows back start singing "Come On You Irons." And then 10 people join in, and that's it.
Yeah.
At the Bowl-In, when we used to sit Bobby Moore lower, we'd start off bubbles. The Bobby Moore lowers are singing, and within 2 minutes, the whole stadium singing it. And you're not going to get that at the London Stadium.
I'll be honest with you, right? There's this little bit of misperception here. I think that's all home grounds all over the country.
Yeah, you go because the only home ground we go to in the Premier League where I think is like Huddersfield was great last season. Stoke. Palace as well, they've got their little corner with their ultras, which they always generate an atmosphere. But I've been to Old Trafford, nothing, the Emirates, Anfield, they sing "You Never Walk Alone" when you come out.
White Hart Lane?
Yeah, White Hart Lane was the same. It's all grounds. I mean, the away fans are the ones that make the noise. I mean, we go away and we know the West Ham fans make noise, and we out-sing the stadium. We out-sung "You'll Never Walk Alone" with a chorus of bubbles.
Yeah.
So we know what it's like, but I just think...
How do we get that back? How do we start instilling that back?
I mean,
because the thing is, why? I've been to Chelsea at home, I've been to Tottenham at home, I've been to a couple of games when we needed to win, and the atmosphere there can be absolutely electric.
yeah, we've witnessed it. I mean,
I've seen it.
You go back to probably the first game there where there was a real. You thought that stadium was buzzing. Was when we played Chelsea in the cup.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
And we beat them 2-1. And that night was the first night where I thought, do you know what? This stadium can be good. It's not what we want. It's not perfect, but you know we can make it into like a good atmosphere. But since then, it's just, we've had like the Tottenham on the Friday night where we beat them 1-0, and Chelsea at home last season.
Yep.
But you know we need to generate. I mean, you look at some grounds, and I mean, I looked at Celtic. I was watching Celtic Rangers yesterday, and that stadium was jumping for the full 90 minutes. Now I know it's a derby and that, but you know the way it generated. But then you look around the world. You look at Dortmund. They have the wall, they call it, and
Will Standing bring that back?
Standing. I mean, I don't know. I mean, moving people behind the goal. You can't. It's so mixed around there because you get a pocket of people in the Bobby Moore lower over there. You get people in the Brooklyn upper. You get some in the West Stand. You get, you know, nothing in the corporate bit. But
Do you think it might be an idea, right, for us fans?
Burn it down.
No, not burn it down. He doesn't. Ryan's thoughts there don't necessarily reflect those of centre force, by the way. No, but do you think it would be an idea if us fans got together and said, right, we're going to make it, because the club ain't going to do it. We're going to make this a singing section. We're going to make this a standing section. Anyone who wants to sing and stand, you know, bit of momentum through social media, you might start to see a little bit of atmosphere come back, maybe.
Yeah, there's a lot of work that goes behind that, though, in there. People have to move, and then them people who sit behind the goal might like their view, but they don't want to sing. They, you know, it's one of them. But maybe you could have like a neutral zone, and people can just walk in there and stand where they want.
Yeah, all right.
I don't know how
They stopped all that last year, mate, when they started throwing coins and things at them.
Yeah, I don't know how you solve it. It's a difficult one. The only option would be is to knock it down and build it up again. And build it closer. And yeah, it's a difficult one with the London Stadium, but we can't keep blaming it. I said this on a radio interview the other day, that people say it's not fit for football. All right, it might not be, but it's got 2 goals and grass, so
that's
you can
all
play
you need for football. Yeah.
So it is fit for football. It's just the fans have to generate a bit more atmosphere.
Yeah, you're right, mate. You're right. Warren H has just texted in. Respect to the lads. Love the Monday Night Football show. Thank you very much, Warren. I appreciate that.
Cheers, Warren.
If you want to get involved in the show tonight, 07709 333 883. Text in anything you want us to talk about. 07709 333 883. Let's have another song, Roy.
You ready?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Dire Straits there, a bit of Sultans of Swing. Okay, before we go to anything, we've got a couple of questions coming from our good mate Nick Tucker, who listens every week. Hello, Nick. It runs crossdammers.com website. Go and check it out. Always good stuff there. Metalhead's Pub on a Saturday. Why we go there and we have a post-match pint?
Yeah, Carlton Horses, home a post-match pint now as well, and Metalhead Hammers.
But we're gonna
come on, you irons.
We're gonna get to them at the end. Okay, so one of the subjects that's come up this week is obviously it's a subject close to my heart, and I like to talk about it because I never shy away from these things. It's fan TV. Now, we run West Ham Fan TV, and we know a lot of people that run fan TV channels. We've come in for a bit of criticism this week, right? From a few Spurs fans have ripped off, you know, some of our videos, and, you know, me and being a bit optimistic at the start of the season. I said not some silly things, but some optimistic things. And, yeah, you laugh, John, but it's true. Some optimistic
He said
things.
we was going to finish 5th, John.
Yeah.
Let me pick Johnny up off the floor there.
Yeah, I said some optimistic things and some silly things, and it gets ripped off, and it you know, it gets laughed at, so to speak. We had a couple of fan cams that people didn't really agree with the opinions on. Right? Do you think it's something that should be a little bit more schooled, a little bit more what's the word? Controlled.
What, fan cam?
Yeah, fan TV.
Yeah, I mean, look, we do West Ham Fan TV, and as you know, we know Robbie at Arsenal Fan TV, and we know the people that you have on there. And the thing is, fans have got a right to say what they want. we can't just talk to them after we win. We win, lose or draw, we talk to them. It's their opinions. I don't agree with them. I stood behind the camera, holding the camera while you was interviewing people, and I was shaking my head at some of the things they were saying.
Yeah, I totally agree. Look, I stand there.
And you cut in sometimes with people and say, I don't agree with you there. That's fair enough, but that's their opinion. You can't slate them and call them this, that, and the other, and call us embarrassing for giving fans a voice, because what these people, how do they call themselves the old school. What they don't realise is that what we're doing now happened years ago at the bowling, and it was just in a fanzine.
Yeah.
And then internet come along, then forums come along, and now YouTube's come along. It's what happens.
But fanzines and forums and stuff, I mean, if you look at forums, mate, they've been going a long time before anything like fan TV come along, and they'll always find something to laugh about. If it ain't something that is said by a fan, you know, and as I say, like, I remember Dom. Cheers, John. I remember Dom. Cup of tea there for me, mate.
I'm all right, John. I don't want one, mate.
No, when you remember Dom in that famous interview that went really viral,
Astra
Gugu, when we lost at home to Astra Juju. I mean, you know, it is. You know, and I've heard this criticism. I mean, there's a guy called Lawrence McKenna that many will know from the True Geordie podcast, that he's adamant that, you know, we should let them have a cooling down period, so to speak. But listen, I think everyone's entitled to an opinion.
Well, now, to be fair, we sort of did, and we acted on that, didn't we, with Dom? Because he used to come on and go first, raging. But now we said to him, look, calm down, because you're getting a little bit of abuse, because it got to him, didn't it? He got a lot of stick, and he had fans coming up to him at the ground trying to attack him. And I had to step in at one game.
Yeah.
I had to stop an interview to go over and stop someone in their 50s having a go at him. Smack him. He's 21, you know.
He was 21.
Yeah, well, he was 21 then. He's 23 now. He looks 43, but... No, but look, we obviously give these people a platform. We give everyone... And look, people have a go at us for putting out interviews and that after we lose to Wolves, but when we beat Arsenal away, Man City away, Liverpool away, and all the fans were jumping around and everyone loved it. So you got to take the good times with the bad times, and we don't handpick who we speak to. We speak to everyone that queues up. We don't handpick games. We don't only talk about wins. We're going to talk about defeats, and I think it's good, because as much as people don't want to say it's influenced the board on certain things, it has, because we know that the board watch these videos. People at the club watch them. The players watch them as well. And sometimes the players don't want to hear it, what they're saying, but it's good that they take it on board and see how the fans feel.
I think that's the most important thing about football, mate.
We know the football players watch it. Mark Noble watches it. We know that. Aaron Creswell watches it. You know, so when we criticise him, we know they're going to be watching, but we only say it from the heart. I've never gone on this channel and personally... Not
this channel. This is
on West Ham Fan TV. I've never gone on there and personally slated a player and criticised them for no reason at all. I only criticise on their performance. I don't criticise on their personal life and what they look like and things like that. I don't agree with all that. I'm just saying what I've said, because... Let me pick Mark Noble for it. He could have a brilliant game one week. I'll love him. But you know I'm a big Mark Noble fan. But if he doesn't play well, I will say he hasn't played well.
Yeah.
And I think Mark Noble would say he hasn't played well. But yeah, I think all fans have got a right, and people want to criticise us. And this Tottenham fan has literally sat through 2 hours of our videos to get a little thread going. And yeah, it is funny. It's taking the mick out of West Ham and things
Some
like that.
people take this sort of stuff to heart. I always take this with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, you know,
I'm the main... Someone called me... What did they call me? A fat diabetic blob or something, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah, but you can take that. Things like that wind me up. Because when people say things about me, I've done this long enough now, it goes over my head. But when people are personally attacking me mates, it sort of gets to me a bit more. But you never see these people at the games. They're always hiding behind a fake account.
The geezer in question, his name is the Angry Rhinoceros, and he's got a rhinoceros picture.
There you go.
I don't listen to people that have...
You didn't upset a rhino at Colchester Zoo once, did you?
Yeah, maybe.
In a Tottenham
maybe I did.
shirt.
But yeah, they're them things, man. They always make me...
No,
they always make me chuckle.
But these people that like to sit there and slate us still watch us. You know what I mean? They still watch us. I said to someone yesterday, I don't like Emmerdale or Coronation Street. guess what? I don't watch it. I can't judge it.
Yeah.
There you go. If you don't like what fan TV is and what we're trying to do, then don't watch it. But we know a lot of people do like it.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, it swings and roundabouts, mate. Not everyone's going to like it. Somebody's just said, Peter P said, get his address. What a rhino. Colchester Zoo, probably, Pete.
Yeah, we're finding. We're finding.
Yeah, anyway, let's go on to the rest of the Premier League games, mate. What we got? Tottenham.
No, so should we go? So we'll start Saturday.
I wanted to start with a bit of positive, a bit of Tottenham losing, but go on, then we'll start with Saturday.
Don't worry, we'll end with that.
Okay.
But yeah, Leicester-Liverpool was the early kick-off. Another win for Liverpool. Top
Flying, mate. Yeah, absolutely flying.
And but the main talking point from that game was the goalkeeper mistake. The
Alisson,
£70 million goalkeeper.
Look, they've all got it in them, mate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, a goalkeeper mistake is one of the ones that you...
To be fair, he did make up for it after, but that's a dreadful mistake. That could have cost them the game. You know,
definitely.
And at the end of the season, losing points like that. But they're lucky they've won. They've got through it. Klopp's obviously looked here. But I said to you, didn't I? Why is it whenever a goalkeeper makes a mistake, the first thing they do is zoom in on the sub-keeper because you want him to be laughing. You're saying, I could have saved that.
Yeah, but that's what they're hoping for. They're hoping, oh, please be laughing, please be laughing. But no, mate, it's so fun. I think that sort of like journalism is so funny because they're expecting a reaction from the sub-keeper, you know. But no, Liverpool, mate, I'm well impressed with them. I said at Anfield, they're going to go close this year. And they're proving me right. They're going to go close this year.
Yeah, they will. Mane scored for them and Firmino. Yeah, they're
flying, mate.
Do you know what? When you lose a player like we lost Payet and we didn't recover. They lost Coutinho and they've looked stronger. You know, could you imagine Coutinho in this team
he was
as
still
well?
There, yeah.
But I think they look
probably
better.
Wouldn't get
I
in.
think they look better without Coutinho.
I don't reckon he'd get in.
I've always rated Firmino. I think he's a good player. Mane, he's a great player. They've got some really good players at Liverpool, and they've sorted out their centre backs. They've got young Gomez there now, and they've got Van Dijk.
Yeah.
So yeah, then the right back Trent Alexander.
Yep. The England boy.
And Robinson left back. No, they've got a strong team. Be interesting to see if they get a few injuries and how Klopp deals with that. But no, I think they're definitely going to be up there come the end of the season.
I think the guy that presses me most is Keita.
Yeah,
because he's so versatile.
Yeah, great signing. He's like the Chelsea boy, Kante.
Kante, yeah,
reminds me.
But
of
he can also play on a wing.
Yeah,
and attack,
and a sort of like Makelele as well.
Yeah, I agree, mate. He does everything. He's a real. You know, he can break up play, but he can also join in the attack. Who else we got?
Brighton versus Fulham, 2-2.
2-2, yeah, good game that.
Yeah, entertaining game. Fulham were 2-0 up, I believe.
Mitrovic scored again.
Yeah,
flying he is.
Yeah, they're doing well. So
I bet Newcastle are kicking their heels, aren't they?
Especially when they're crying out for a goal scorer.
Yeah,
and they've sold him. So no, it was good. And then Chelsea, another home victory against Bournemouth.
Do you know what? They're doing better than I thought they would do.
Yeah, going under the radar a bit. No one's really
a little bit. Yeah,
no one's really paying that much attention to them. They're just getting on with it. They're winning games, and they're in the mix. They're in that.
You should, underestimate Chelsea at your own. You know, when you've got players like Eden Hazard.
Yeah,
and
even
and
David
Kante
Luiz.
And
David Luiz looks a different player this season, and their new manager, he's Sarri, in it, Sarri, whatever his name is.
Sarri, I think his name is. Yeah. Sarri's saying that an Asian, Indian wears Asian person.
That's a Sarri.
It's a Sarri, yeah. That's what you said. It was a Sarri.
That's my Cockney accent. Sorry. Yeah. So Chelsea have gone under the radar, but they're up there, and then Palace. I ain't gonna do the rest. They they lost 2-0 at home to Southampton, which is a huge defeat for them. And if we'd have had points on the table,
you know, in bottom.
Yeah, it's
that's just their luck, isn't it?
But that's a game that I looked at and I thought, Palace would win that, and they surprised me. And Southampton played really well. Danny Ings, he looks a different player.
They're another team, Palace, that seem like they're struggling with the transitions and the signings and all that sort of stuff.
I thought they would have moved on a bit from last season. I mean, they done well to get out. They lost 7 in a row, and then they finished above us. They finished 11th, which is great.
They've always had that sort of thing, though, haven't they? Remember when they had Pardew, they had the same thing. They'd done really well for a long time. Season started again, they started doing really bad. Last season, when Allardyce left, they started to drop down the table a little bit, and then obviously was it Koeman?
No, not Koeman.
What was his name? Koeman was at Everton, wasn't he? De Boer.
Yeah, De Boer.
Yeah.
He was sacked after 4 games.
Sack him after 4 games because, they got off to a terrible start.
and then they brought in Roy
Hodgson.
Hodgson. And I can never say his name without doing his impression. Roy Hodgson.
He's not good.
But he steadied the ship. He's a local lad. He's a Croydon boy. They love him now. He got Zaha playing again. So
Struggling this year.
It's it's a devastating defeat for Palace. And then Everton Huddersfield 1-1. Great point for Huddersfield.
Yeah, that is a great point. They scored
away.
First as well.
Yeah, great point away from home, especially at Goodison Park where we go to next. So
Richarlison was banned this week, wasn't he? He's not banned next week, is he? Yeah. He got 2 yellows, didn't he?
No, he got a straight red.
Did he?
Headbutt.
Yes, mate.
Yeah, so I don't think he plays against us.
We're only going to lose 4-0.
Yeah, we'll lose 4-1. We'll get a goal. And then, I don't think we'll talk about the next one. West Ham 0, Wolves 1.
No, we can talk about that. Traore, someone that we was interested in. Good goal.
Yeah, great finish. You know, like I said earlier, that they took their chance, we didn't.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, it was a devastating defeat. Still upsets me now.
Yeah,
I know we spoke about it, but then to end the Saturday games, Man City versus Newcastle.
Yep.
Newcastle were in this game, but look, Man City champions for a reason because they grind out results like that.
They did grind it out, mate, but I said it last week. It just goes to show when Wolves got that draw against City, it just goes to show that there ain't going to be any easy games.
Nah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, Man City and Newcastle were playing really well. I thought that Newcastle were looking good. They got the equaliser, great finish.
Yeah.
And that was it. But City got the win, mate. City got the win.
Yep, brilliant. All right, let's have another song and then we'll do the rest of the Sunday games.
I've got a nice song queued up for you.
Go on, what you got?
Seen it yet? Nick Tucker will like this one.
Okay, all right.
Ready? You ready?
Yep.
Here we go.
Guns N' Roses, Sweet Child of Mine. Talk to Guns N' Roses, Gunners, Arsenal.
Yeah.
Cardiff.
Starting off the Sunday games. Cardiff City 2, Arsenal 3.
Tougher than I thought it should have been for Arsenal, to be honest. They still look a bit vulnerable.
Yeah, they obviously lost against City and Chelsea. They sort of struggled against us and struggled against Cardiff. But they won. That's all that matters. And
sign of a good team.
Lacazette and Aubameyang are starting to form a good little partnership there. And I said this after.
I think that Lacazette looks like a different player.
Yeah,
to be honest with you, when he first came in, I didn't really rate him. I thought he was a decent player, but I thought to myself, there's got to be more to him. He's sort of got that sort of hold up play going now. Now Aubameyang running off him.
Yeah, he's got Aubameyang with him, isn't he? And they're starting to get a little partnership going.
But they're not starting together.
No, that's what they need to do. They need to get them two together because if they do, they'll score goals. They will score a lot of goals. And Arsenal look settled now. They got their first win against us, and then a great away win yesterday. Cardiff's going to be a tough place to go for a lot of teams this season.
Oh, you say they look settled. I still don't think they look comfortable. Checking goal. I mean, he's like a meme.
I think it's time he needs to be dropped for there.
He needs to score another own goal.
I know. I don't know if he's doing it on purpose. I don't know.
He must be having a laugh.
He's going, look at me. No, I don't know. It's a great win for Arsenal. Massive win for them, and they're slowly moving up the table.
Going back to West Ham quickly, mate, we got a text in from Stevie K. Thanks for texting in, Steve. Love the show, boys. I just want to say that Pellegrini smacks of Avram Grant, and I don't think he's the man to take us forward. But I will give him 10 games. If we have no points by then, he has 2 to go. He has to go. What do you boys think?
Yeah, I sort of touched on that earlier about Avram Grant. It sort of does remind me of him. I know we've got a better squad now, and people say about the grounds, Avram Grant had the bowling ground that year, and we struggled.
Yeah.
So I agree. I was very excited when Pellegrini got the job, and but I'm thinking if it goes 10, 12 games, then the board have to act, and this is the time where they've got to, because they've sort of, you haven't really heard from the board, have you? I ain't even seen pictures of them at the game. Usually you see Sullivan sitting there in his chair, and it's all about them.
It's one of them things, mate, where, he did promise he was going to step down. He did promise he was going to take the limelight off them. They have given the money.
Yeah.
Fans haven't really been talking about. I think that's what a lot of the mainstream media concentrate on, is when the fans start to mention them and blame them, they'll just get on it. Anyway, let's move on, because we've
Thank
West
you
Ham
for the text, anyway.
Yeah, thanks, Stevie.
But Burnley 0, Man United 2. Massive win for Man United, especially after their defeat. It was a massive defeat for them last Monday against Tottenham. 3-0 at home.
It was bad as well.
And Mourinho, obviously, we all see the press conference after and his reaction. I honestly thought that he was going to go after that game. Just the way he was. I mean, his press conference after, he looked a broken man, and he was going like about he won 3 titles and all that. But no, it was a great bounce back. A tough. I watched the highlights of this last night, and I mean, Rashford got sent off for a clash of heads, which was never a red card.
No, I agree with you, mate. He just put his face.
If anything,
there's got to be some.
That Barnsley should have been sent off as well for his reaction.
He's the same, but there's got to be some common sense for him. That can't be a red card. That can't be a red card.
VAR.
I don't even think it needs VAR. It needs a bit of common sense.
Yeah, the common sense. It happens. It happens at every level of football. People will clash.
People will come together.
I mean, that Barnsley kicked him off the ball. That's why. Because Rashford's not that type of player. So I think it's a bit of frustration for Rashford because he's not really getting in the side at the minute, is he? But no, it was a straight red, and it's going to be a big blow for Man United. But as I said, to go to Burnley and win 2-0, and they missed a penalty. Pogba done his little run up that Joe Hart saved. It was great save. He pulled off some good saves.
Yeah, he did.
Joe Hart.
He got a lot of praise from Mourinho as well for that as well.
Yeah, and Juan Mata was sitting with the Man United fans, and Mourinho's gone to the fans after. They flew a plane over, saying Ed Woodward, specialist in failure, and it's a
bit of disarray there.
Well,
isn't
the Man United fans are sticking by their manager. They're standing by their manager. They know they feel he's the right man. They're just not happy with the way the club's being run.
Yeah. It's been like that for a long time, isn't it? It's been that since the Glazers took over. But no, good with Man United. Lukaku got on the score sheet again. He scored 2
goals.
Didn't he? Yeah.
Well, he's joint same goals now as Drogba with I think about 30, 40 less games than him.
Yeah.
So people class Drogba as a legend. Do you sort of class Lukaku in that? Me personally, no, because he's not won anything. He's not won anything.
I don't think he influences games like Drogba used to influence
Drogba
games.
dragged Chelsea through games.
Yeah.
You just got to think of that Champions League final when they were dead and buried and Chelsea went on to win the Champions League. Lukaku, for me, he's got to win trophies.
Yeah, I think you're right.
He will score goals. You know that. He's been doing it since he's 16 when he first come into the Premier League. And how old's he? 23, 24?
I don't think he's that old, mate. He's 25 at most.
He's still young, so he's got another 6-8 years at the top level, so he can break all sorts of record. But he's got to win things. Man United need to start winning things again.
I just think he needs to take a bit more of a grip on the game. The complete centre forward don't miss as many chances as him, and I know he scored a lot of goals, and he did very well against Everton. He was our. What was he, Roy?
He always scores against us. Nemesis.
What did they? Yeah, our nemesis. That's the word. He was our nemesis for so long. I mean, he really used to wind me up because you knew he was just guaranteed the goals when he used to play for Everton.
I know. Every time he was, even for West Brom, he scored against us, and it was one of even Man United on his debut, he scores against us.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope he's injured when we play Man United. I'll tell you that. But then to finish off Sunday. The game you've been waiting to talk about. I'll tell you what, we'll have a quick song, then we'll come back.
No, go away. I want to talk about this one.
Watford 2, Tottenham Hotspur 1.
Now, I ain't one to brag. Right? I ain't one to brag, but...
this pleased me. After all the abuse the Tottenham fans were giving us.
But I'm not even going to turn around and say they're a bad team. I'm not going to turn around and say they're doing bad. But the result itself, because they really enjoy giving us stick. They really enjoy for a club that claim they're not worried about West Ham. They really enjoy sticking the boot in when it's not going well.
But we enjoy doing it to them as well. It's football. That's part of football. But
people were abusing me, right? As the second goal was going in for Watford.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You're concentrating more on West Ham than watching your own team lose at Watford. But no, do you know what? You know why Watford won this game? Because they bullied Tottenham. They bullied, and Tottenham did not like it.
And they hated it.
Troy Deeney, I'm not a big fan of Troy Deeney, but I'd love him in my team. He's one of them sort of players. He's like, when Andy Carroll's fully fit. Remember him, Andy Carroll?
Do you know what? Right, I was just about to say we got him in November, haven't we?
Who?
Tottenham.
October we've got them.
October.
Yeah.
Might be a little bit early because I was going to say he's due back in November, Andy Carroll, and I would love to have, after seeing what Troy Deeney done to them yesterday, he jostled them and they hated it.
Troy Deeney reminds me of a Sunday League player who's just been given free roll in the Premier League. He enjoys it. He's an half decent player. I wouldn't say he's a top quality player, but the way he bullied Tottenham yesterday.
He's a trier.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind having him in our team,
No,
mate.
that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't mind him at West Ham at the moment, but no, they bullied Tottenham and they got two headed goals and that was it, mate.
That was all over the shop, Tottenham.
Yeah, and after Tottenham's win against Man United on Monday, these are the sort of things where people say they Spurs it up because these are the sort of games they should be winning. But I'm not taking nothing away from Watford. That's 4 wins out of 4. People were saying to me, do you think they could do a Leicester?
No.
I don't think they can do a Leicester, but I think they can do a Burnley. I think they can break into that Europe, or maybe top 6 if they carry on like that.
Yeah, definitely.
I've enjoyed watching Watford this season.
And there was a lot of talk about them possibly going down when they, because they didn't sign a lot of players, did they?
Elton John was in the house yesterday.
Well,
Elton John was there, and he was looking sharp. He had one of your suits on.
Always my suits. What does it look like?
Like you used to wear down
the beach?
O'Neill's.
Oh, right.
O'Neill's at Leytonstone on a Friday night. Nicky,
What, the old leather
shiny
outfit?
suit.
The old leather get up?
Yeah, the old leather ones with the tassels.
No, but honestly, mate, with Watford, when they lost Richarlison and all that, there was a lot of talk of people going, "Oh, I don't fancy Watford this year," but they jog on, mate. They carry on, they march on, and they they really give it to Tottenham, and I was pleasantly surprised, to be quite honest.
Their manager Garcia's come in. He's doing a great job. And no, good luck to Watford. Good luck to Watford. Obviously not when they play West Ham, but I'm not. I shouldn't really say that, should I?
Right. Do you know what? We're going to have to rush this a little bit. We've got another song, and then we're going to come back. We're going to talk about Tottenham Stadium, and then we're going to review all the games from the for next. No, there ain't no games next week.
England.
We're going to talk about England then.
It's coming home.
Coming in. No, not again. Michael Jackson beat it. Right, spilling around with the songs. I don't know what he's doing. Just play one of them. What's on the screen now?
What now?
No, not now.
All right.
Listen, right, before we get into, I was going to say next week's games, but it's International Week next week, so we're going to be talking about a little bit about England, if you ain't already England out from the summer. Tottenham's new stadium. It's just been announced today that the Manchester City game will be moved to Monday.
Yeah, it's going to be moved to the Monday from the Sunday because there's an NFL game at Wembley on the Sunday. So the game now has moved to the Monday night, which means Man City fans now have to travel down on a Monday night. And Man United, I think, play Everton on the Saturday, is now moved to the Sunday to fill the void left by Tottenham Man City on the Sunday.
What a disgrace.
Did you get that?
Yeah, I did get it, mate. And I'll be honest with you, I'm disgusted with it, the way that... and do you know what? It's not because it's Tottenham. But I got a feeling that, if it would have been... If it had been... mind that chair, mate. Don't move it too far. If it had been someone like a Fulham or a Burnley or someone like that, I've got a feeling there'll be repercussions for this. And I'll be honest with you, I've heard all sorts of rumours that they don't know when this stadium's going to be done, like 5-6 months still to go and all that sort of stuff. That ain't been confirmed, and allegedly.
You say that. I mean, in the industry I work in, someone that's working on the site of Tottenham's new ground said to me weeks ago that this is about 4 or 5 months away from being done. There's no way it's going to... At the moment.
At the moment, yeah.
I mean, there's rumours that Arsenal and West Ham fans working on the site are messing around with the electrics, but we can't confirm that. But
can't confirm or deny.
It wouldn't surprise me.
But it's one of them things, though, right? Isn't it? You said someone that works in the industry 4 or 5 months away. That'll take you into sort of February time, and it's not just the fact that they've lost the stadium, but it's the fans that have paid money to go to Wembley, to go to White Hart Lane. The Tottenham fans that have paid for season tickets. Nobody knows what they're doing. They're booking people booking hotels and things like that.
Well, the Man City fans would have probably booked hotels
and all that for the weekend, and then they've got to be there on a Monday. It's such a knock-on effect, and it's one of them things where the fans are not thought of again. You know what I mean? Like, that's a long old way to come. I understand that they ain't got a ground, but what do? Do you know what I think they should do? I'll be honest with you. If they ain't got a ground to play, forfeit the points.
Yeah, deduct the points. I mean, even the Carabao Cup, they was drawn at home to Watford. They've already asked MK Dons if they can use that stadium. I mean, and look, take off how we feel about Spurs as West Ham fans. Let's talk about being a football fan. Them Tottenham fans now have got to go up to MK Dons to watch a Carabao Cup game. It's wrong.
They're not going to go.
What they should have done, if they haven't got a ground, is just reverse the fixture and let Watford play at home, because I'm sure Tottenham fans would be more happy to go to Watford than go all the way up to Milton Keynes.
No, totally right, mate. But, like, not as a fan base, you know. To be honest with you, mate, we've had problems with our ground in the past, you know what I mean? And you know, I wouldn't wish it upon anybody. But
at least we can play there, though.
Well, yeah, we you know, no, but even last season, right, we had to ask for special dispensation.
Yeah.
And I even said then that shouldn't be allowed. You know what I mean? Even when it was us,
no, we
it should not be allowed.
We was lucky. And to be fair, that sort of helped us in the long run, because towards that relegation battle at the end, we had a few home games. You know,
but it shouldn't be allowed.
No, it shouldn't be allowed. And
even in the Carabao Cup that time, we couldn't be drawn at home. No. We wasn't allowed to be drawn at home.
No. Well, I think we did actually get drawn at home, but they reversed it, didn't they, to Cheltenham? Was it Cheltenham? It was Cheltenham, wasn't it?
Yeah, it should not be allowed. But, you know, for a team like Tottenham, who, you know, you're talking about 6 months of a delay, and now they've got to start reversing fixtures and all that. There's got to be a penalty.
Yeah,
there's got to be a penalty.
The Champions League, they've been given permission now for their 3 games to be played at Wembley, which, all right, it's fair enough. But it's just this moving, and I feel sorry for the fans. You know, we've had it where games will get moved up north, and we've got to travel up on a midweek. You know, it's not fair on fans. But you're right; these TV companies don't think. All they think about is who's sitting in their studio talking about the game they're watching. They're not worried about the fans that have to travel and get home at 2-3 o'clock in the morning and go to work the next day.
Yeah.
They don't think about the fans, and you know, you're right. I mean, if it was us, and people saying we should get points deducted, I'll be a bit upset. But you got to draw the line somewhere. I mean, what are they going to ask for next? West Ham, Arsenal?
Well, they're going to have to. If this carries on and Wembley ain't available, they can't keep on changing fixtures for them. Surely.
It's a knock-on effect for other clubs.
Because it's not that, right, with the West Ham situation, and I said it shouldn't have been allowed. And if we got drawn at home in the Carabao Cup, you know, apart from the fact it puts us at a disadvantage for playing away, we should have had to ask Leyton Orient or someone to play at their ground, or we should forfeit it. I don't think it should be allowed that special dispensation, but we asked for that in advance. We knew that was coming in advance.
Yeah.
At the moment, they did ask for it in advance for the first 2 games. They was meant to be going in there against Liverpool.
September, yeah.
These games are moving into November, and as you say, it could be February, March. So they're going to have to keep on going back to the league saying, oh, you know, we still can't play at home.
What they should have done is they should have just struck a 2-year deal with Wembley and be done with that, because then Wembley could have worked around these NFL games. I mean, this is another thing as well. American football now is starting to take over. I mean, it's not their fault, but you know, it's one of them. I don't know. I'm just glad it ain't West Ham, because we would be in the back of the papers and the press will be proper giving us stick. But Tottenham seem to be getting away with it. They're like the darlings of the papers now, in they Pochettino's babes.
It is a little bit. I do feel like that about. Yeah, the goalkeeper running around last week drink driving. Yeah, I've seen it. He's got more points than West Ham. So no, but yeah, it's I don't think it's right. The toothpick's got more points than West Ham.
Yeah, I just think it's fair on fans. I mean, we're fans. We travel up and down, so you've got to think of these fans. And a Monday night now, they've got to get all the way from Manchester to London. You know, if it was Man United, they'd be all right, because most of them live in London, so they wouldn't have to. It'd do them a favour.
Be on a doorstep.
Yeah, so. But I'm sure Man City will pack out Wembley.
I'm sure they will. But it's not only that, right? It's not only the fact that, you know, it has knock-on effect for all the fans and all that, but like how much leeway do you give them? You know what I mean? Like, as you said, they should have had the foresight to at least book Wembley just in case. I mean, you're giving yourself a season and a bit to build a whole stadium.
And as you said earlier, most of these Tottenham fans have already paid up front for their season ticket.
But they're not getting it back up front.
No, they're getting it back in payments, which Tottenham will be earning on, because the money's in their account. So they're not stupid. That's why Daniel Levy lives in a mansion. And
yeah,
Yeah, so
sickening. I think that's sickening.
Yeah.
Let's have another song, and then we're going to wrap up the show by talking about England. If you ain't already been Englanded out over the summer, what we
come
got,
on,
right?
England.
If Amy Winehouse there, Back to Black. Right. Last games, last things we're going to talk about. We've got a couple of questions coming in from a couple of the boys. We'll answer them before we talk about a little bit about England, and then we're going to sign off the show, and we're going to pass over. So, right, questions. Let's have a look.
You want to do the questions first? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Stevie K back.
Stevie K, yeah.
If Pellegrini was to get sacked, who would you want to come in and replace him? For me, it has to be Eddie Howe. We should have got him in the summer, give him what he wants, even if we went down. Hopefully that will not happen.
The problem is
he will definitely bring us back up. See, I said, and I can go back on previous videos, Eddie Howe was my first choice.
Yeah, Eddie Howe is a good manager, but the problem is, mate, you've got to get him to leave Bournemouth. That ain't easy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think if we would have offered him what we offered Pellegrini, he would have jumped at the chance to come to West Ham.
Of course, but then I remember like years ago a manager called Danny Wilson used to manage Barnsley, bought Barnsley up, done really well with Barnsley, kept him in the Premier League. He was the hot young manager in the Premier League. He ended up going to Sheffield Wednesday and absolutely tanking.
Yeah, it's not guaranteed Eddie Howe was going to come here, but one thing I would say about Eddie Howe, he'd have our players fit as anything. That's Bournemouth have always been top of the charts when it comes to sprints, running. They cover the most ground during games, and I think Eddie Howe is a great choice.
No, he does know what he's doing. Go on, what's the next one? We've got a couple from our mate old Nick Tugger.
Right, memories of your first ever games after finding Ryan's ticket from his first match. What are the memories? What are our best memories? Like, well, I just want to say, crosshammers.com. If your first ever game, if you want your ticket, your program, go on there. Nick Tucker will sort you out. I think you only have to pay like postage and packaging
for the program,
yeah, for the program. So no, it's good. But yeah, I mean, memories of my first ever games. It's my first game. I loved it. Everton at home, Monday Night Football. Tony Cotty scored 2 goals. We drew 2-2. But you know, we done videos on this one. We done our bowling memories.
Yeah. My first ever game, and my memories was I was standing in the old South Bank, and we beat Sunderland 6-0. And about 92, I think it was. I was about 9. Or so. That's the first time I went to West Ham. But
he's also put favourite football food at away games. I can't read this bit without doing his voice.
Do you know what, right?
Nah, Charlotte loves the chippy near Goodison.
You're right, lads.
Yeah. Pie butty at Wigan, pork scratching at Villa.
All
Sorry,
right.
Nick.
You've absolutely brutalised his voice there. Do you know what? Talking about food, right? Before I answer that, I must have had the worst food ever at the London Stadium the weekend. Honestly.
No. Was it popcorn?
No, it wasn't popcorn.
Was it sweets?
It wasn't sweets either. It was a pulled pork baguette. It was absolutely disgusting.
You should have gone to the Rib Man.
No, well, do you know what? I always would go to
Mark's
Mark.
coming for you.
No, I always would go to Mark, right? I always would. But he's around the other side of the stadium. It's a long enough walk to get there as it is, and I'm always late.
I won't
honestly,
repeat what Nick's just sent in.
Seriously.
Sorry, Nick.
God's honest truth, right? This guy pulled out a baguette at the London Stadium. He spread the stuffing like butter on it, so it was so thin, right? And then he started pulling individual strands, and that cost me, right? Drum roll. That cost me £11.50 for a pulled pork roll. It was disgusting. It was dry. It was, and you know what? People always they always complain about the Rib Man. I see him get loads of complaints about his prices. I'm telling you now, right, the comparison between what the Rib Man gives you in food, let's turn into a bit of a food review. What the Rib Man gives you in food for your money and what that tight ass give me for money is no comparison. Go to the Rib Man all day long. You go to West Ham, go to the Rib Man, because the food along that little bit stretch where you go for a smoke is disgusting. Rant over. I like a balti pie, mate.
Nick's just messaging, get your gloves on. Is that me or both of us? Because Nick, you know I'll take you, mate. No, all day long.
Come on. What's your favourite food?
Well,
we're running out of time, mate.
Well, at the bowling it was pie mash. You don't get that around Stratford no more. So, beer.
Beer. Okay. Okay. Do you know what? As it happens, that pulled pork thingy, that pulled pork stall that I went to London State, replaced the pie mash that was there.
Well, that's where it's all going wrong. Right, England.
England.
It's coming home.
Oh, it starts again, doesn't it? It all starts again.
But it's the UEFA Nations League, and do you know what? I think this is a good idea what UEFA have done, because it gives instead of playing friendlies, pointless friendlies, this is a bit of a competition now.
Yeah.
So England next summer, if we get through,
who we got? Holland, isn't it?
No, we've got Spain.
Spain
On Saturday, which will be a tough game, and then we have a friendly against Switzerland next Tuesday. But I'm just reading here that Sterling's pulled out the squad with a back injury, one of them. But yeah, no, the squad still looks strong, similar to the World Cup.
Couple of retirements.
Yeah, Vardy and Cahill.
Yeah,
won't be missed for me, but yeah,
we're looking very thin on strikers, though. Right? I was looking at the squad. He's only picking 3 strikers.
Do you know what? My mate in work said this to me today. Why ain't someone like Callum Wilson getting a call up?
Absolutely. You know, absolutely.
He's an Arsenal fan, and he said about Danny Welbeck, like he's not in the team for England, he's not in the team for Arsenal, so why shouldn't Callum Wilson get a chance?
Exactly.
And I make him 100% right. I mean, Callum Wilson's started the season on fire. So yeah, we definitely need. But you know, he plays one up top, doesn't he? So he got Rashford, Welbeck in the squad, Dele Alli, Dyer, Henderson, Lallana, Lingard, Loftus-Cheek. Yeah, Delph's back in the squad. Gomez,
Young retired as well, didn't he?
Did he?
Or he didn't get picked, and Luke Shaw's back in. For
Luke Shaw, but Luke Shaw's been playing well for Man United.
Yes,
so no, it's nice to be excited to watch England again. I think the World Cup was massive for England. I think Gareth Southgate's picking young players now. You've obviously got the Declan Rice thing. I see Gareth Southgate come out yesterday and said Declan Rice needs to make a decision. He's not guaranteed England. So what's been said to Declan Rice, I don't know. But Declan Rice needs to be getting in the West Ham team first before he can even think about England.
Right,
mate. See, this is the thing. If he wasn't playing for West Ham, he's still getting the Ireland squad. But with England, you've got to be playing. And that's
absolutely.
I don't want to disrespect Ireland, but it's the truth. It's the truth. England.
Well, they have players playing play in the Championship.
Yeah.
So
England's getting a tough squad to get into now, and it's good. It's nice. I'm looking forward to watching the Spain game. It'll be competitive, and yeah, come on, England.
It's coming. Is it too early?
Yeah,
it's coming.
Well,
it's coming.
You'll only get Richard Keys and Andy Gray slating us and Jim White.
I don't listen
the
to
old transfer deadline.
Richard Keys, his opinion's worth more to me than that wall. That's about as much of I listen to that guy. That guy is an absolute goon. To be quite honest with you, he's a terrible human being. I mean, I was going to go wild on him now. No, I won't. But yeah,
we'll save that for the show.
We'll save that for after on the
12 tonight.
Yeah, but England, I am looking forward to watching England. The summer's sort of rejuvenated, because I'll be honest with you, I hated watching England.
I loved the World Cup though.
Yeah, it was brilliant. I enjoyed the World Cup, and it's reignited my love for England. And I'll be getting behind the boys against Spain, and I'll be looking forward to the Euro draws have been done, isn't it? It ain't.
No.
What, the group stages? No,
no,
they have been done.
Yeah, the groups have been done.
Yeah.
I can't remember who we've got in it.
We've got no, but I'll be looking forward to them. I'll be watching them, and I'll be watching England again, even though there's no hammers in it. Anything else?
No, that's it, mate. That's it for England. There's obviously a break next. We're back next Sunday. Everton.
Oh, we forgot to go through the results from last, but we ain't got time for that now.
We'll have to do that next Monday.
Yeah, and we've got 2 challenges to do. You've got to do one, I've got to do one. You still didn't pick the you didn't pick the thingy, but you've got to do your chili challenge. And as I said, we're going to put that up on Centre Force's Facebook page. But yeah, Ryan's going nuts here in the studio. He's looking forward to his chili challenge, and he's gonna be thinking one up for me, and then we'll go over the one next week.
But yeah, that's it, mate. That's it. Premier League is back next weekend. Not this weekend. The weekend.
What are we talking about next week?
EastEnders, Coronation Street, whatever you want, mate.
Tune in next week for Soap Watch with Nicky.
Someone's just texting. You're only getting the England squad if you are, I will say, at Spurs. If you're playing for Spurs.
Unfortunately,
listen, they've got some good. Unfortunately, players.
They're the ones that have got the good English players.
You know my feelings on Harry Kane. I taking off me West Ham hat, I love Harry Kane. I think he's a typical English striker. He scores your goals and he'll break records for England. I'm sure he'll go on and break Rooney's record. Dele Alli on his day is a good player. Dyer for me was Dyer during the World Cup, but he's another one who can improve.
Trippier
for me was player of the tournament.
Yeah,
I rated him. And
player of the tournament. I want our player
England's
of the
player of the
tournament.
tournament, not the player of the tournament
Not
for
Mbappe.
the whole thing.
He goes against Mbappe for player of the tournament. Mbappe. Yeah. Anyway, so we'll wrap it up there. Thank you very much for joining us for 90 minutes of Total Football with me, Nicky Hawkins, and Ryan Archer on Centre Force. We'll be back next week, which I don't know what we're going to talk about, to be quite honest with you, but we'll be back next week talking about something anyway. And right, what we got to finish this off?
What did you pick this one, mate? Warriors Dance.
Yeah, Warriors Dance from The Prodigy. It's one of my favourite songs, and we're going to finish you off with that.